Sup guys, it's Desro. I'm here to make a guide. I've been looking over a lot of the IM Shenzhen VODs and replays, and I found this build, which so far is probably the best game I can make a guide about. There's still a bunch of other VODs to look over, but so far this is really one of the best games. This is a very standard opening. It's in the beginning it's very standard, and then it goes into Blink, which is still very standard, and then it takes a left turn, and Hero goes, it's a PvT build, Protoss versus Terran, and Hero goes Blink into DT. It's not the first time he does it, but it's one of the most recent example. There's going to be the replay, there's going to be the build order notes on my website, and yeah, let's just get into it. So, like I said, it is very standard. As you can see, there's only one gas. We're gonna put this for a second. He doesn't scout at all, and that's one of the reasons I feel like it is so standard, is you don't really need to scout. He's gonna be facing a CC first, but it's not really relevant. He's gonna end up scouting the CC first, which might contribute to him doing the DT variation. But as you can see, you know, everything is very, very standard. He's gonna get the Stalker whenever he's got money for it. So it's a one gas expand. You don't need to commit to this build early on. That's really the beauty of the build, is you can do about any variation if you don't feel like this is gonna work out. You're gonna be making a lot of Stalkers before Warp Gate finishes. You're gonna be getting the Twilight is the first thing you'll be getting. Which the key timings for this build are listed as you see. So the Twilight first, Blink, Robo, double gas at the natural is also very important. The double gate, so you can have 3 gates, the War Prism, the Dark Shrine, and then eventually at 9 minutes we'll be adding, we'll be warping in some DTs. I like to remove the minimap, but it removes also the timer, so but yeah, it's just get Blink, get a Robo, get the double gas, and in this game XY went for Bio, which to be honest, this might be a little bit better because he went into Bio. XY also got a early 3rd CC, which doesn't really factor all that much. But the Bio is probably one of the biggest thing. It's probably going to be more rocky if they go for Widowmine. So you get a Warp Prism, and then you get a Dark Shrine. Very close. 740 and 750 are the timings for that. And you see, like, he's got 5 Stalkers out of 1 gate because his gate number 2 and 3 are a little bit delayed. And the beauty of this build is applying, getting map presence, having map control, putting on pressure, and as you do that, oh, now it feels a little bit weird without the minimap. As you do that, how zoomed in I am. I'm not zoomed in at all, right? Okay. So as you do that, your Warp Prism's gonna fly across the map. Your follow-up after this, which was not listed in the key timings, your follow-up after this is a Double Forge, a Robo Bay, an Observer. So like, all of this is not all in. You're just applying pressure and getting ahead with the DTs. Plus, having a Warp Prism for the later stage of the game is always nice. So a total of 6 Stalkers at the front, 3 more being warped in. So we're talking a total of 9 Stalkers. You can try to snipe Marauders. And the thing is, you don't have to do all of this. Like, you know, if you're in gold, if you're in plat, you might not end up with as many probes and as many Stalkers. So like a benchmark, if you want to practice this versus the AI, would be that at the benchmark would be that at 9:30 you're warping in 3 DTs, you have 1 sentry at home, 1 mothership, and the benchmark would be let's wait for him to warp into DTs real quick. So the benchmark would be to be at 79 supply with 48 probes, 9 Stalkers, and 3 DTs. So if you want to play this versus the AI and perfect this build, that's what you're aiming to be doing. But like I said, if you're in gold, you're probably going to have less Stalkers, you're probably going to have less probes. but the key timings again, you know, getting your Twilight at 450, getting your Blink at 540, getting, you know, the Robo at 615, all of those key timings, the War Prism, the Dark Shrine, and warping in eventually at 9:30, around 9:30 is really what's most important here. It's a playstyle, and you just go back into macro. Now, if these 3DTs don't do literally anything, well, hopefully some of the map presence you gain with the Stalkers still gives you a little bit of an advantage. Now, what we're going to see TY do here is go straight for the middle line, which is a fine thing to do. You can snipe the turret, or if there's no turret, you can kill as many CVs as you can, but as soon as they're aware of it and they start reacting, you have to split. So as soon as he kills the turret, he's gonna start splitting his DTs. So he's gonna leave one behind the middle line, he's gonna send one to kill some of the Marines, and you see like it's gonna take 3 scans to clean this up, and that's really the most important thing here. It's gonna go for an add-on, which is really great. The reactors take a lot of time to build, and then killing depots, as long as they're like far away from each other, is good. He's gonna move back in with the Stalkers, and you see like Hero is not perfect. He's floating 1200 right now, but that's because he's doing a lot, and his DTs were perfectly split. 1 scan, only got 1. He's gonna lose a reactor, and he's gonna have to spend another scan to kill this one in the back. So just a great spread from Hero, and yeah, now XY has another scan, so he's gonna be able to scan the one in the main. But this DT, like the DTs so far have killed 9 workers, which is pretty great. If we look at the unit loss tab, Terran obviously has lost a lot more. Killing Marines, if they don't have combat shield, is really nice as well. Obviously workers are better, but sometimes if there's going to be a turret and there's no more reactors to snipe, settling for killing a Marine is not that bad. Yeah, here he's going to realize that attacking the bunker doesn't do much. He's going to go for the CVs. But yeah, at the back of that, you know, there was a double forge. The timings to start upgrading were right after the DTs. You start 1-1. During all of that, he had 3 gates, and he was producing Colossus, and eventually you can add the 3rd first, or you can add the gates first. He chose to do... what did he choose to do? He chose to add the gates first. He was floating a bunch. He could have added the Nexus earlier, or the gates earlier. I would recommend doing the gates, because you're never sure how much damage you'll do. But as time goes on, if you're doing this build and you start to be Master League or Grandmaster League, doing the Nexus first might be something you can take the risk, because you'll be better at guessing how much damage you've done. You see TY, or sorry, XY in the situation didn't lose too many workers. He lost 10, but he was still producing a fair amount, and he's at 47 right now, which is not something that Hero could have gone with a really quick 3rd expand. So this is the build. The timings are going to be on my website. The build order, the replay, the key timings were listed earlier in the video. Those are the ones that you have to focus the most on. 9 Stalkers and 2 3DT Warpin and 2 Macro. A really fun build. Maps that I recommend would be 4-player maps. Why? Gives more room to your Warp Prism. 4-player maps and Terraform would probably be the best builds. The best maps for this build. So hope you guys enjoyed it. This was CJ0 Blink into DT build order guide. If you want any, if you ever see a pro game and you'd want the guide on that build, feel free to hit me up in the YouTube comment section or on Twitter. Thank you for watching, and have a good time.